I think the girls might have gone under. They were at the stage where they'd virtually given up and they'd taken in a lot of water.
She was turning blue, she didn't have any air.
When we got down there was an elderly man laying on the ground, and he'd been pulled out of the water in knee-deep water of all places, and yeah, he had no heartbeat. We're lucky enough that there was actually a nurse on the beach and a couple of paramedics who had already been there, so between a couple of us lifesavers and them, that was pretty much covered in the CPR, but the problem was there was still a couple hundred people out in the water. Stuck the shark alarm on, started calling everyone out of the water, took the flags down, set up a helicopter field once they knew what was going on.
It was a Friday afternoon and I run quite a lot. I never run on Friday afternoons. I remember I'd stopped and posted on Facebook, like even in the rain, how amazing was the place that I live. And then I was on my way home, running home, and this couple came out of running out of the house on the esplanade, holding a baby in their arms, just saying, "Does anyone know CPR? Does anyone know CPR?" And I was literally the only person in the street.
The first major rescue I did was after board training one day. I was walking on the beach with the rescue board and a lady approached me and said her daughters were caught in a rip at the front of the surf club and could I help. From there I didn't really have time to think. I just ran to where the girls were and paddled out.
We actually got the guy back. He started breathing while we were on the beach, and by the time the ambos got there, they were able to chopper him out. You kind of just got to go with your gut, I suppose, at first, trying not to freak out. I may not have been involved in the CPR, but I feel like there's always something to do. Whether you aren't the most competent person in the water to pull someone out, or you're not the most competent person when it comes to running something, there's always a job.
So ran over, and she's 18 months at the time, little baby toddler in their arms, and she was clearly fitting. Took her in my arms and I tried to clear her airways. And then I saw my friend Graham walking his dogs up the beach, and I know he's a surf lifesaver. He also is the swim coach, coaches my kids. And he came running over and he gave her 2 breaths and there wasn't any response. So he tried again and he felt this movement and the air went in, and she literally within seconds turned from kind of a grey kind of colour to pinking up. From there we knew that she was, back breathing.
I grabbed the girl who looked the worst, while the other 2 guys helped the second girl. I got her to shore, put her on the beach, made sure she was okay, and got out and got the second girl. Although they weren't that far out, if those guys hadn't been there and I didn't have the board, clearly identified the surf club, enabled the mum to come and identify me and get out there. And luckily, it all turned out well. We all walked off the beach.
Just looked after her and looked after the parents who were really distressed until the paramedics arrived. And afterwards, I just ran home. She went off into the hospital. If there hadn't been intervention then she might not have made it by the time the paramedics had got there.
Yeah, when you hear back that someone's all right and that you made that difference, I suppose it's very rewarding and fulfilling for yourself, and I guess that's what keeps you there doing the same thing.
At the time I didn't realise how serious it was until after we got to the beach and the girls started bringing up water and stuff. They were in shock and they were actually sick from the amount of water they'd taken in.
Didn't really think about it that much, it was sort of like, oh yeah, all in a day's work. And it was only afterwards when, the stories kind of came out and I saw Graham again and we talked about it, that the impact of actually, that was pretty momentous.